Welcome to this explainer. You know, when most people think about maritime regulations, they immediately picture these dense, dusty, frankly boring legal textbooks that are just impossible to decode. But what if I told you that one of the absolute most critical rules on the water isn't just bureaucratic red tape, it is actually an active, real-time, life-saving checklist? Today, we're unpacking Rule 6 of the navigation rules. And let me say right up front, so we're all on the same page, these exact protocols apply universally to both international and inland waters, without exception. This is the rule that dictates safe speed. And trust me, understanding how this is put together is going to completely change how you view a vessel moving out on the open water. It is literally a masterclass in situational awareness. Let's start right at the source. The official legal mandate states, and I quote, "Every vessel shall at all times proceed at a safe speed so that she can take proper and effective action to avoid collision and be stopped within a distance appropriate to the prevailing circumstances and conditions." Now, did you notice what's completely missing from that sentence? A number. There's absolutely no speed limit sign of 20 knots bobbing on a buoy out there. Safe speed is a conditional state. It's this constantly shifting target that demands an operator's full, undivided attention, based entirely on the environment they're navigating through at any given second. Because, think about it, the physics of stopping a moving vessel to avoid a collision, they don't care about borders. Whether you're dealing with massive open ocean swells in international territory or navigating a tight, winding, localized river current inland, the fundamental rules for safe speed remain exactly the same.
So here is our roadmap for today. First, defining safe speed. Second, the universal factors. Third, radar variables. And finally, our final takeaways.
Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. Defining safe speed. Ultimately, it all boils down to being able to stop in time to avoid a collision. Which brings us to Part 2, universal factors. These are the variables every single vessel on the water must constantly evaluate. To manage the sheer complexity of avoiding a collision, Rule 6 gives us a very specific checklist. I want you to put yourself at the helm right now. Look at the unpredictable physical world around you. According to the rule, you have to account for the state of visibility. Is it a perfectly clear, sunny day, or is a dense fog bank suddenly rolling in? You have to calculate traffic density. Think about navigating through a cluster of unpredictable fishing boats. It's kind of like trying to drive a semi-truck through a crowded mall parking lot on Black Friday. You need time and space to react. And of course, you absolutely must evaluate the state of the wind, the sea, the current, and any hidden navigational hazards. A speed that feels perfectly safe on a calm, empty afternoon can become incredibly dangerous during a crowded, windswept evening. And this brilliantly illustrates how mechanical realities completely alter the safe speed equation. You really have to know your vessel's maneuverability, specifically exactly how long it takes to stop and turn in your current conditions. If you're out at night, you have to account for background light from the shore messing with your vision, or the blinding backscatter of your own navigation lights reflecting off fog or rain. And critically, you've got to constantly compare your vessel's draft, how deep the boat sits in the water, against the available depth. Having less water under the keel drastically changes how a boat handles. Trying to stop a heavy boat with minimal clearance? Well, it's a whole lot like trying to slam on the brakes on black ice. Your momentum suddenly has a mind of its own. So those are the baseline rules for everyone. But we live in the modern era, right? A lot of vessels are equipped with some highly advanced technology, which brings up a really vital question. What if you have operational radar on board? Does having that tech give you a free pass to increase your speed, just assuming the machine's going to do the hard work of keeping you safe? Let's find out. Part 3. Special rules for radar. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how it completely shatters the illusion of tech. Having radar doesn't mean you can just throttle up, kick back, and relax. Actually, it's the exact opposite. Rule 6 explicitly states that vessels with operational radar have an entirely additional set of variables they have to continuously evaluate. On one hand, sure, radar is amazing. It allows for a much more exact assessment of visibility and lets you pinpoint the precise range of vessels around you. But on the flip side, the rule strictly warns operators that small vessels, ice, or say a low-sitting wooden rowboat, they might simply not show up on the screen at all. You can never, ever blindly trust the tech. Radar is a tool, not a substitute for human eyes and good judgment. You also have to factor in the physical limitations of your specific equipment. Think about your screen settings. Are you zoomed in way too far in the radar range scale, completely missing approaching danger from afar? Or are you zoomed out too far to catch the small hazards right in front of you? Plus, you've got to assess environmental interference. Rough seas, heavy rain, or thick weather can create this messy screen full of clutter that easily hides a smaller boat sitting directly in your path. Honestly, think about the immense mental workload required here.
You're trying to process the number, the location, and the movement of all the vessels your radar actually has detected, calculating all their trajectories against your own. And at the exact same time, you have to actively anticipate the invisible hazards, the ice, the floating debris, the tiny skiffs that your radar might be completely missing. Having radar gives you incredible data, for sure, but it demands an operator who is skilled enough to process all that data instantly and then adjust their speed so they can still stop in time if a surprise pops up.
Which brings us to Part 4, the ultimate takeaway.
When we pull all of this together, the sheer brilliance of Rule 6 becomes so clear. Safe speed isn't just a physical setting on your throttle. It's a continuous, real-time calculation for survival. It requires you to constantly adapt to visibility, traffic, weather, your vessel's mechanics, and even the limitations of your own technology. Which leaves us with this provocative final thought for the next time you, or maybe someone you're riding with, takes the helm. Based on the rigorous, universal checklist of Rule 6, are you actively calculating a truly safe speed where you know for a fact you can stop in time? Or are you just cruising along, hoping for clear waters? Understanding that difference doesn't just mean you're following the law. It's what ensures everyone gets back to the dock safely.